The government recently blocked Allianz's acquisition of income insurance, prompting calls for changes to the Insurance Act. To discuss the implications of this decision, we are joined by Professor Lawrence Law from NUS. Professor Law, first, can you explain why the government blocked Allianz from acquiring income insurance?
I think basically, in essence, it is the protection of public interest. And there are two specific aspects. One is, of course, if you look at the history of income insurance, they were cooperative before, and then they became corporatized. 2 years ago, there was this surplus of $2 billion that was exempted to be returned to the cooperative societies movement. So this is something that needs to be protected. And what happened is, as part of the acquisition, eventually there will be a capital reduction. This amounts to the tune of 1.85 billion to be returned to the shareholders. So in other words, this is something like a value capture from something that is public money to shareholders. And secondly, the second aspect is on social mission. After the acquisition, it is not clear, in fact, it's not properly defined how the social orientation of the new entity being acquired by Allianz will carry out this social purpose. So on these two specific grounds, the government has effectively, in fact, legally blocked Allianz from acquiring income insurance.
And what precedent does this set for future mergers?
In fact, I would say this whole episode is very unique. I won't even call that it is a precedent. It has its own set of factors and circumstances. But having said that, I think going forward, of course, foreign investments coming to Singapore, especially if they want to pursue the acquisition route, they have to weigh the social factors very carefully. In fact, they will be shown to be not only financially oriented in terms of their thinking, but they actually should be socially responsible.
To sum it all up, what can we learn from this? What changes should companies consider in their merger planning based on this case?
I think arising from this case, in any mergers, of course, companies should do their sums very well. The financial imperative is, of course, primary. But with this episode now, it is quite clear that we have to go beyond finance. The context of the situation is very important, particularly in certain markets like Singapore, where sometimes we weigh the public element very heavily. And in fact, this is actually perhaps a reminder for companies that they have to be sensitive to the requirements of the marketplace.
Thank you so much for your time today, Professor Law.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Professor Lawrence Law from the Department of Strategy and Policy of NUS Business School. For more news, visit sbr.com.sg.